for us. Alright, welcome back. Sorry about that. Had to put up another stream here. Couple issues with the setup of the cars with some of these drivers. Some drivers were saying the water temp was getting too high and the gearing was too low, causing cars to overheat. So I assume that's why we only saw 6 cars up at the front. The field is now lining themselves up in the order they should be in here when, or as per the last lap. So the field's now lining up as per where they were when the caution occurred. We're going to run 30 laps instead of 40 laps. And Chris, judging by what we saw in that first run, judging by what we saw on that first run, I believe that we should see a really good race.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to see an interesting race, to say the least, as we line them up single file and get ready to take off here. They're actually taking off right now, but yeah, it was very aggressive. We expected to see them kind of relax a little bit on the start, but they were going for it right off the bat, so that'll definitely be fun to watch.
30 laps kind of seems like a long time at a 2.5-mile racetrack, but when they're running speeds of 215 miles an hour, it is anything but a short race. We have a
car around in the back.
Single car incident. That won't have any effect.
Alex Brooks.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. He was looking pretty decent in practice. Back
yeah,
up
but
for
we
the
might
lead.
get a
They're
caution
door to
at some
door.
point.
Side pod to side pod.
Cam Smith. No, it's going to be, is that, oh, car in the wall behind him. He's going into the wall, up in the air.
And he's out.
That's Alex Rowe.
Blew up. We have another one around.
Oh, we're wrecking it.
That'll bring it out of yellow. For sure. And they're going to race back to the line.
That's not how these guys wanted to start that off. Nathan on the inside. Cam Smith still on his outside. They've been going at it for about a lap now as we come off of turn 3 and into turn 4.
Chris, you want to call that caution? I don't think you realize it was 2 cars.
There we go.
Okay, so caution out. The 30 car having the lead over the 88 of Cam, followed by the 96 of TJ, the 28 Carson, the 00 of Brian Dillon. The 7 car makes his way down pit road with a heavily smoking motor. It's funny that the smoke's coming out of the front. I guess you could say it's steering column or whatever, but heavily damaged. Obviously, you know, realistic damage is going to affect the way these guys drive, and I don't think anybody was really factoring in the fact that realistic damage does not allow for the kind of racing that we were seeing. The racing we were seeing up front does not equate with having realistic damage or anything of that sort. Not sure why they wrecked under yellow, but I think the 46 is blinking.
Well, one thing I can say is that this is a big break for Alex Brooks, who self-spun on the back there. Looking at his spin, he actually got tapped from behind, and he's lucky to not go airborne there.
Yeah, I did see the back of that car got a little light, but, you know, thankfully, I think the car stayed kind of level, and that he was able to regain control once all 4 wheels got back on the ground safely. 2 cars on pit road under this caution flag. That would be the 88 there's 3 cars actually. The 88 of Cam Smith, the 26 of Glenn Townsend, the 46 of Alex Brooks, and the 149 of Magma. They all pull in, and the 7 is back out on the racetrack. Definitely going to have some type of engine damage, as that car was heavily smoking. But maybe somebody in front of him wrecks out and he's a shot to regain you know, his spot and get back up there and maybe contend for not last place. He
Oh
just
yeah,
hit
I
the
think
bump
he'll.
there on pit road, and that's a big thing that these drivers are going to have to worry about. That bump on pit road, it can send you flying if you do not have full control of your car when you hit it. So yeah, under caution here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the second running of the Norris Indy 500. The 30 of Nathan Odone leads over TJ. Have there been any patterns you've been noticing so far with this racing?
It seems like we go all out for a couple of laps, and we get a driver error that brings out a quick caution. We've seen it on the initial start. Um, I believe it was the 7 of Roe that clipped the apron, got loose, and set off that big crash. And we just keep seeing a little bit of hard racing going wrong here.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the common theme throughout the day is don't push as hard as you can. There's no reason to be pushing for laps led or for, whatever these guys are pushing this early into the race for. It's a 30 lap race with full realistic damage on. We're not running moderate damage. We're not running a 10 lap moderate damage sprint. It is a long race, and it's going to be tough at the end if you have engine damage like the 7 has, or you have a little bit of aero maybe like the 26. Um, these cars don't really show damage that well because it is a mod from 2012. However, just because they don't show damage doesn't mean the damage isn't there.
Yeah, and another thing I'd like to point out is this race is really different from anything else we do. So you might see different drivers kind of pushing hard and for TV time. That's one thing I actually just thought about.
Yeah, I guess we don't really stream too often. We really don't stream at all. And so these drivers that are out there every week really running about mid pack most weeks, like the 7 and the 00. Um, they're trying to push as hard as they can to get up front, and they don't want that chance to end because of somebody else's mistake. The 149 is out due to a piston failure in that car.
Green flag's back in the air. Nathan's gonna lead us back to the green.
TJ blinking out there. Normally you don't see him blinking. You normally will see somebody like Glenn blinking, but TJ there not having a stable connection, allowing the 28 to get to his inside. Now your running order, Chevy's taken over the top step, and a Honda has acquired second.
Yep, and I think I'm starting to have some internet issues as well. So contagious internet problems throughout the field. I might have to mute at some point and take care of that.
See the 30 not really sneaking, just kind of making his way down slowly and up really slowly. These guys that sneak back and forth tend to be the same drivers who have the weight shifting problems, right? You'll see somebody get really loose. Also, when somebody's running your bumper, you really don't want to be swerving back and forth in front of them. Just because these are IndyCar models does not mean the hitbox is an IndyCar. The hitbox is a stock car, so you can kind of push. It's a little sketchy in
Yeah.
the corners, but they have full bumpers on these things because the hitbox is a stock car. Now, we don't know if these drivers know that. That's some pretty intricate knowledge of the game. But if a driver does know that, they can use that to their advantage. Blocking may be a thing here.
Oh yeah. If I was out there, I'd definitely be using these bumpers. I mean, I'd be bump drafting the whole 9. So.
Yeah, speaking of you, Chris, you ran this race last year. How was your experience running this race 1 year ago?
Man, it was pretty fun, but I guess I gotta admit, I had I struggled with this one. I mean, the cars were just way out of my control, and we see some contact here. Nathan's up in the outside wall. He's got to keep it straight.
Yeah, you know, last year you finished in the 5th place position. You got a top 5, but that really didn't tell the story of your day.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we were a lap down at some point and airborne. I mean, we were everywhere we could have been, but I must definitely say the iRacing version, that was probably a better fit for me. I think I came second in that race, or was leading late with a chance to win.
All I know is I won that. So Cam Smith out front pretty early in the running here with TJ following right behind him, and Carson Little in that number 28 DHL, the race-winning car from 1 year ago, right behind in third. You see Cam not snaking, and this is what I was talking about with the gentleman's agreement. Like, yeah, of course you can go out there and snake, but if you're snaking, there's no reason for the guy behind you to lift when he gets to your bumper and not just send you around. It makes it dangerous for all parties involved. So I think these drivers have kind of realized, hey, I'm going to calm down with the snaking a little bit. I'm not going to push as hard as I probably could be. It is realistic damage. We've already seen cars taken out because of that, so. Cam trying to hold on to the inside. Looks like TJ got to run an exit.
Sorry, I had to take care of something.
And the two
Smiths going at it, and TJ's going to... Ooh, man, what a save.
Top 3 still relatively close to each other compared to the rest of the field. You get a good shot there to see how far behind the others are. Nathan and Brian running 4th and 5th right there, pretty close to each other. And then 6th place, Alex, really far back. And the 26 and the 7 both retired from the race with wheel issues. Let's take a look at that. But I believe that is just lag issues.
Battle for the lead just as tight. I mean, you think it's the last lap with the way they're racing each other.
No, they push all the time, every time. I think
they're about in the grass.
I'd rather race hard on the backstretch compared to somewhere like the front stretch. Because the backstretch, if you spin, you could kind of just go through the grass or something.
Lap car! Oh no!
Lap car. I have no idea why he would do that.
TJ Smith's involved. Oh, look out!
Yeah, that's
ARCA brake.
Caution.
And there goes my pick. Kind of brought that one on himself, didn't slow down.
Like rookie
Brian Dillon
out
involved.
there. I mean,
oh man.
If 2 cars spin, like, slow down. These guys are not doesn't look like everybody has their head on their shoulders. It's going to be heavy damage for those cars. Obviously, TJ out of the race because of that. And I know if we were to go into that call, this stream would probably get taken down.
Oh, yeah.
The 30's out.
Another thing.
Everybody's out.
With odd handling race cars is sometimes if you hit the brakes, they can just snap on you. So maybe they were just scared to hit the brakes. I'm not sure what they may have felt in practice, but that's the only explanation for why they didn't slow down that I can think of.
You're about to hit the halfway point under this caution.
We've only got 3 cars on the track.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's out. The 46 is still on the racetrack as well, but obviously really slow now. So there is 4 technically. But honestly, the biggest surprise of the race is that 0-0.
Oh yeah, he's just, I mean, aside from that last wreck, he's been staying out of trouble and doing everything we talked about, and he's found himself in P3, so.
Does not
definitely
seem like an IndyCar kind of guy, but he's able to hold his own.
He's not. He's a big block modified guy. Big fan of the dirt stuff, and we see him here in Norris as well, but IndyCar definitely not his style. and he's out of the race
He just
with
parked it.
big damage.
Yeah. I don't know why people wouldn't just continue with damage.
I don't know. I guess he feels like since we're not racing for points, there's no point, right? But who's to say the top two don't
Yeah,
wreck each other? And
for money, man.
right,
All right.
he may have assumed that he had third on lock as well, so he potentially just gave up some money there. So now these guys can really go all out because either way
yeah,
they're going to get paid.
exactly, right? So I think that's what's gonna happen here. If I were the 28, I'd wait. I'd stay right behind him. I wouldn't even make an attempt to pass because I know the 46 is down on power. Um, and I know that Cam has gotten loose in a longer run. So if I was the 28, I'd conserve my stuff. I'd try to get as close as I could to him without passing him. But I think Cam knows that. So I think Cam will try to run a little bit slower than all out to try to get the 28 to get side by side with him. Because that'll obviously wear your tires faster if you're racing.
And another thing when it gets down to the end is it's really hard to make up a run in these cars or in any car in general in NR. So you'll have to make that move kind of early, like maybe with 2 to go, or kind of like Pato O'Ward did, make it in a turn 1. Now it might backfire as well, but there's no guaranteeing you'll get that run through 3 and 4.
Alright, lights are off on the pace car. We are over halfway. We're going to be restarting on 17 out of 30. And I don't know about you, but I'm hoping for them not to wreck.
I mean, at this point, there ain't no cars in the track. If you wreck, that's just embarrassing. So
I mean, yeah, right? It's on YouTube for, what, like 3 people watching to see right now? One of those people is me on my phone. So, alright. Lights on the pace car are off. It's going to be peeling onto pit road, or peeling off the racetrack and rolling onto pit road here in a minute. My pick is still in it, Chris.
yeah, that's one thing I noticed under that caution there. I think you might have been on the money.
Yeah, I think a repeat might be in order here for that number 28. We're green again here in Indiana.
Alex Brooks doing what you said. He's gonna get that money, and at this point, he could probably just park it if he wanted to. He's gonna get money either
Yeah, you
way.
get $5.
But
We parked it right now, but
I
there's
think he's
no
gonna
doubt
stay
in
on
my
the track.
mind that, yeah, right? Let one of these guys up here wreck, and you take their money.
Right.
Ooh,
We
a
are
little
past the
wiggle
halfway
there.
point as well, so I would expect to see things get a little more aggressive as we fly through 3 and 4. I actually thought the 28 would get a bigger run than he did, but it looks like dirty air kind of plagued him a little bit
Maybe
there.
it was arrow wash, or maybe he's doing what I said.
Yeah, maybe.
What's the point in trying to get a big run, you know? If you can just stay in the draft by a couple car lengths, what's the point of pushing as hard as you can? Coming to 19 this time by. We go on board here with the 88 from the rear view camera. See how low and how fast these things are going. Take a look at speeds going into 1. 219 heading into 1. That's really fast for this video game. see, obviously, the rendering model on these cars not the best. That front wing is clipping into the ground. That is not an EXE thing like TJ. That is, you know, just the rendering model of these cars not really doing, or not being able to do what it should be doing. I'm really curious as to why Cam ran into the back of the 46. Like, you had to be able to see that race car, right?
I mean, the 46, I'm watching him now. He's been blinking for a while, so maybe he blinked out and reappeared in front of our leader. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, because or maybe he just assumed he would either go low or go high, and he didn't. But they're all in the same voice chat. You know, they probably were communicating. I'd imagine they would. If not, then
and it really didn't affect Cam that much. I mean, he's still the leader. He's led the majority of laps today.
But yeah, could have been strategic.
I don't think Carson is attempting to get a run. He's staying about a car length and a half back. I've watched a 2-car test last night, and they were able to get runs and get to each other last night. So, unless there's some kind of damage on that 28, I think it's a strategy ploy here. Because Cam is pushing as hard as he can.
Oh, for sure. Once you're in that lead, you don't want to let anybody get past you.
No reason for him to even hold back. He just pit on that last caution. I think he has the tires to do it. He definitely has enough gas. We're only running 2X. So I think he's going to push as hard as he can. And I don't think the 28 is pushing as hard as he can. Because he's gaining, he's getting there. And then as soon as he gets to about a car length off, he's backing down. And there's no, arrow... I mean, there's no block of air in between the two cars. Like, he could get there if he needs to. And he does need to. But not until the end here.
Lap car coming up here. It's going to stay right up against the wall. Our leaders are down by the grass. So
Cam
good
doesn't want
avoidance
it
that
to
time.
happen again. So he's right on down to the grass. And don't be surprised if these two wreck each other here, and it's just going to be a Talladega Night situation running to the line. Like, I think it'll.
Yeah, honestly.
We're probably going to see 2 damaged cars come off turn 4.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that last lap because I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose the draft off that 88. But now I wonder, there's only 2 cars, right? So, would the 88 be scrubbing more speed to try to go all the way down there to try to snake? Because if the 28 just held his line off the corner, I don't think he'd be scrubbing speed at like the 88 is trying to swerve.
It seems like these 2 cars are just breaking even without the draft, so I mean, that is a really good question. It's hard to tell because it looks like the 88's getting off the corners better, and the 28's kind of having to use the draft to even get that run. So, yeah, I'm riding on board with him right now. It's not making much of a difference. It's just, I think he really does need that draft. He might have a little bit of damage that we can't see, and sometimes on NR when you have damage like that, is your car is good enough to stay in the draft, but not enough to get a big enough run to make a pass. So we'll just have to wait and see if this is strategy or if he really can't pass.
I am willing to bet it's strategy.
Oh, look at that. He's staying straight this time. Something tells me he might have the broadcast up. He might be listening to us because he stays straight. And
And
he
I
gained
think
a little bit, too.
Cam also wasn't really trying to swerve down there because he knew he didn't follow him. So I don't think he scrubbed speed. I think he was just staying on the inside on exit. The thing I haven't really noticed, I haven't noticed much aero wash. I haven't noticed, anybody really taking the air off anybody's nose. I saw it a little bit in testing yesterday. But I think the sheer speed of these cars.
I heard the 28 lift off that time. He's definitely waiting to make that move.
Hmm.
But yeah, as you were saying, yeah, aero is usually a bigger thing with the stock cars here. Obviously, with them being, a lot bigger and punching a bigger hole through the air. But it's really surprising because in the Indy 500, you're used to seeing drivers having to lift off because this is a relatively flat racetrack, and the air getting taken off someone's nose sends them straight up the track. But here, it seems like the grip this track has is kind of countering that aero block. So
Yeah. Oh, he's there. He is right on him.
he's got to be thinking about making that move pretty soon here. With 3 coming to 2 laps to go, I don't think that run he's getting is big enough to actually make a move.
I don't really
He'll
know.
have to think about setting them up here. I mean, if he can try something out now, what's there to lose? If it doesn't work, he can have a chance to go back at it and try to set up another run. But if he waits to the last lap, he's only got 1 shot.
That's true, yeah. I mean, if you wait till the last lap, that's it. There's no redos. Yeah, he's
Oh, they're really
doing
going
it
at it now.
Half a car length off that rear wing of that number 88 car. If you're just tuning in now, Cam Smith leads over Carson Little. Everybody else has crashed out somehow. You would think somebody would have been in the back conserving, but no.
I think because of that 28's arcing into the corner, the
he's there.
dirty air isn't affecting him too much. He's coming to the outside now as we come to the white flag, and the lap car very slow on the racetrack on the high side there.
I'm not sure. It looks like engine damage to me, but I'm just watching these top 2 here. Carson brings it up top, going to get right to him here. This is the one opportunity he has. Coming into 3 and 4.
He's got to get underneath somehow. It's not enough. Going to try and cut under, but it's not enough. Oh, he's got the run.
Oh, he's going to get him up top.
Shallow exit from the 88. Can he get the momentum on corner exit here? He's cutting underneath. He's got him. He's there. Side by side, a drag race to the line is not going to be enough.
Cam
Smith wins it at
500
Indy.
winner. Unbelievable. Who knew a race with 2 cars could be that much fun at the end?
Right. I just knew. I think Carson would have really preferred to get to the inside as he goes up and to say congrats. He would have definitely needed to go to the inside. I mean, with NR and the physics here, the inside is just the way to go. He can't really make much of a run on the high side at any track. So, just if he had help, if he had someone to push him, maybe. But just a 1v1 like that, he would have needed the inside, and he just couldn't get it. Cam knew. He was right down in the grass and just protected the bottom all the way around, and it won him the race. So he's going to...
Yeah, I mean, he took it as low as you could go. He knew what the 28 was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised they didn't wreck it. Like, I saw Cam got a little loose in 4, but he puts it
burning
right in
it
the
down.
wall.
Oh, yeah, he's just tearing it up now.
I have serious doubts about an OWR track being able to do a burnout. See?
I think he knows that car is not going to pass inspection, so he's tearing it up.
We're going to bring Cam up in here. We're going to see what he has to say about that run. Cam Smith, Indy 500 winner. How does it feel?
It feels great.
I mean, what was going through your mind there when that 28 was getting right up to your back bumper with 2-3 to go?
I need to protect that bottom.
And when did you know that you had it? Was it right when you crossed the line, or was it coming out of 4 when you saw him duck
Coming
back
out of
when
4. Coming out of 4. He could do nothing.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you managed to survive. The only other question I have for you is, what happened between you and Alex there?
Oh yeah, I have no idea. He just was in the way right there, and all of a sudden just blink. I have no idea why.
All right, Cam. Well, congratulations on being an Indy 500 winner, and good luck in the Coca-Cola 600 tonight.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see everybody for the
All right.
600.